Okay, so we're here today with our guinea pig, Josh, and he's gonna bring us through a glute bridge progression. First thing to note is that there's a couple different arm positions that you can utilize. The one that's probably the easiest for beginners to try out is arms out to the side, providing the most stability. And he's gonna lift his hips up to the sky, pushing through his heels, trying not to get too extended in the lower lumbar region. And at the top, we wanna try to provide the cue to crack walnuts. So we always tell our guys that there's a walnut between your butt cheeks and you're trying to crack it. So we want to engage our glutes at the top. Okay, go back down. More progressive arm position would be arms to the side. So we'll show you arms to the side and hips to the ceiling. Glutes engaged, hamstrings engaged. Okay, back down. And then another progression would be arms across the chest. Again, providing a little less stability. And he's going to pause at the top for 2 seconds. Back down. And then a further progression to this, a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult, would be arms up to the ceiling or fingers pointed to the ceiling with hardly any stability provided except for your legs and your scapulas that are on the ground. And back down. Good, so that's a pretty simple glute bridge. If we get into a unilateral position, we're going to use one leg, which is a little bit more challenging. We'll have Josh try the more difficult arm position while he's doing the single leg glute bridge. And in this case, we're just going to raise one leg off the ground. He's going to try to dorsiflex that ankle, toe to shin, and then glute bridge up. And same principles apply. You're trying to get the glutes engaged and the hamstring engaged, hold for a count of 2 at the top, and make sure your core is nice and tight, pushing up through your heel. Another progression that we try to show is providing a little bit more instability. And we look at putting our feet on a foam roller. Try a double leg glute bridge to start. Again, you'll note that his feet are moving a little bit more than they would if they were just on the ground. And he's got to work to stabilize and using his hips a little bit more. So we utilize these a lot with our hockey players and try to make sure that their hips are healthy in season. And he can do a single leg off this as well. Again, it's a pretty challenging exercise. You can see he's starting to shake a little bit. Again, using that isometric hold at the top and back down. Good, and another exercise, a bit of an isometric exercise we use to try to create a little bit more stability. It's more of a strength maintenance exercise than it is a strength development exercise. Is a glute bridge march. And what that looks like is he's going to lift his hips up to the ceiling, and then he'll alternately lift one leg off the ground, keeping his glutes engaged the entire time, and holding for a count of 2 for each foot at the top. So he doesn't lose that contraction in his glutes or his hamstrings. He maintains that contraction the whole time. And again, the isometric exercise helps to maintain strength and provides a little bit more stability. If you're looking for a really challenging exercise, the stability ball provides that. Again, the stability ball is exactly opposite of what it is named after. It's more of an instability ball, but we'll have Josh get into a glute bridge on the stability ball, and he's got all planes of motion here with this ball, so he's really got to engage his glutes and try to use his hips to stabilize. So a really, really effective exercise for hip health and maintaining glute contraction the whole way up. Let's show him one more time here, Josh. Good, again, you can see the challenge that he's facing here. If you're facing that challenge of instability and it's a little bit too much to handle, we'll have him put his arms down to the side, and now he can still be successful doing this exercise.